to talk about. And first of all, let's get some updates in accounts payable. Therefore, I'm going to start in our document application. And as you can see over here, I already received in my inbox a mail, a daily mail of our third-party provider that scans all our paper mail and sends it to a predefined email alias. And thanks to the new thumbnail, you can directly see that this is a multi-page. So first things first. Let's open our split view and see how I can easily split this document. Because splitting a huge document can be a pity, because you have to click between all the different pages in order to split and to merge them. So we have some great new keyboard shortcuts over there. And if you want to know about them, like usual, just type Ctrl-K, and you can see all of them right over here. So let's have a look on how these work. First of all, well, you can use Ctrl-A now in order to select all of them, and type S in order to split or unsplit all of your documents right away. So let's have a look and split these documents. First of all, I will unselect them, and well, these three first seems to be bills, so I'll keep them and send them to the finance department. After that, I can see, well, this seems to be a fine with 3 pages, and in one single click, I can merge them all together and send them to our fleet department. And last but not least, these seem to be marketing pamphlets. I can send them right away to marketing, and all my document is split right away. So let's have a look at the bills and dive into the finance and accounting folder and use our shortcuts to point out the new bills that I have to process. Also here, I can easily tap Ctrl-A to select all of them. And so first of all, some updates in the actions. Because as you can see on the right side, accountants can now create miscellaneous entries as well as bank statements based upon received documents. And in order to make it crystal clear where they will arrive into your accounting, you can now link them to your preferred journals. Like me over here, I have 2 different vendor bills journals, one for my direct costs and one for indirect. I can directly click over here, send it to accounting, we split them in 3 different bills, and they are already sent to our OCR in order to capture all the information out of there. So before we see the power of the OCR, let's go back one step, because there is one more feature I wanted to point out over here. Having a great document system means that you want to be able to easily search across all of your different documents. So that's why, as from now on, when you send your bills through the OCR, we also keep the index content so that you can easily search on it. For example, if I want to search for my recently bought Apple TV, I can just look for the index content, and I can directly point over here all the bills that contain Apple TV. And it also works for images. So let's continue and let's have a look at what the OCR has found in my different bills. When I open accounting, I can see I have 3 over here. Well, no surprise. Of course, the OCR has captured everything. So let's dive into here and let's have a look at the 3 different bills. The first one is for car expenses. By the way, did you know that you can easily link all your vehicles over here and link the expenses to your cars so that you can track expenses for all of your different cars? But that's not what I wanted to point out over here. First of all, let's talk about security. Security has always been part of our highest priorities. And that's why last year, we already introduced the first version of our scamming protection, so that every single bank account that you added needed to be validated before being used for outgoing payments. Well, this year, we went 2 steps further. So let's have a look at our untrusted Wise account over here. When I click over there, we will directly point it out if there is a risk involved. If you want to know why, just click on Check Why, and we will open our brand new page explaining all of our scamming protection. So this is a money transfer service, so we wanted to make sure that you verify it very well before you validate it. But of course, if you're okay, you can validate the account and be used for outgoing payments. But I was able to do it because I have the rights. Also, here are some great improvements, because we have now a real segregation of duties. You define who in your organization can validate outgoing bank accounts. It's super cool. So let's jump back and validate this bill. Let's use our keyboard shortcuts in order to go to the second one. And the second one is a very important one, because this is one for Publiroute. You cannot see it over here because it's a little bit too small, but these are recurring costs. These are our marketing expenses from February till January 2024. So that means deferred expenses. And that was already working very well before, but our accountants had sometimes difficulties to understand why they needed to process the bills on their balance sheet account instead of their preferred P&L accounts. So that's why basically we threw it all away and we redesigned it from scratch. It's way more easy now because you can easily add a start and ending date. And based upon the date, we will compute all of the deferrals out of the box for you. So let's fill in here. The 1st of February till, well, the 31st of January 2024. So just by adding the start and end date, when I confirm them, we will process all of the deferred entries out of the box for you in a single click. And here, it works based upon the invoice validation. If you are a large company, of course you want to do that at closing rate. So you have the opportunity as well to create one single entry and globalize all entries together. And by the way, if you're using it as a deferred revenue and you use our subscription application, start and end dates will automatically be filled in. So let's go back and go to the third bill. And well, this one seems very easy. Of course, the account and the tax code is filled in, but we went a little bit too fast. This is not a vendor bill, this is a credit note, but Odoo was smarter than me. Our OCR is now capable to define if it's a credit note and switch it automatically for us in order to avoid any mistakes. So if you confirm this one, we will use a sequence in the credit notes instead of the vendor bills. Okay, now that we've done processing the vendor bills, let's talk about payments. And payments is one of my favorite new features in Odoo 17. We now make it very easy and we cover all of your different payments. As you can see over here, the view is way more easy to be used and we base it now based upon the invoice lines, which means that we cover installments on different invoices as well as cash discounts. So you have two additional columns, the invoice date and the discount date, so that you can easily see when they need to pay in order to benefit from the cash discount. But the only thing you need to do is use our filter on the overdues, and we will filter out all the different installments that are due. So just like before, select all of them, register your payment, select the payment method, create your payments, and if you're ready to send it to the bank, in one single click, you will create your batch statement. When you validate it, it's ready, out of the box, you can send it to your bank and all payments are correct. So now that we're done with accounts payable, let's discuss accounts receivable. Because more and more invoicing will become an important topic in the years to come. And that's worldwide. More and more countries will introduce the obligation to exchange invoices with each other. So that's why I'm really thrilled to announce that as from Odoo 17, we are an official PEPL access point. So that means all of our customers can benefit from sending and receiving invoices, bills, and credit notes directly over the platform in real time. But the best part is that it's completely free. There is no additional cost linked to it, and it's completely part of your enterprise license. So let me show you how it works. Open accounting, and first of all, let's start in our customers. Open a random customer, and you will see in the accounting tab that the way you provide your customer invoices is now customer specific. You can find all the formats over here, so we removed it from the journal in order to make it company specific. And of course, if you want to use the PEPL platform, you want to know if your customers are already available on the platform. You can easily verify them right over here. So by the way, if we scroll a little bit down, you can see some new information here as well. We now have a DSO directly on the contact form, which gives you some interesting information if you want to raise the credit limit, perhaps. Oh, and the credit limit, by the way, now also contains validated sale orders instead of only the outstanding invoices. So some great new additions over there as well. But let's go back to the PEPL. Because of course, you don't want to change that one by one. We already had the available mass edits everywhere in Odoo, and I'm very glad to tell you that they are also available for the EDI formats. So let me show you how it works. Let's dive into our list view, and I can easily click on the EDI format. So Coca-Cola and Google, for example, well, they are not yet available to send invoices on the platform. Very easy, like this, just select the format in one click, we will automate them everywhere. And if you want to use send invoices over the platform, you want to be sure that they are ready to be sent over PEPL. So also here, some great improvements, because from here, you can directly verify if they're ready on PEPL. In one click, we will check it out for you for all of your customers. So let's continue and see how we can easily send them to your customers. So let's jump back to our dashboard over here. And if you want to send the invoices over PEPL, you first of all have a shortcut over here. Just click over there. You will see all the invoices that are ready to be sent on the platform. But of course, you can still do it like before. Just dive into your journal, apply some filters, like the one for October, perhaps. Select all of them, go to the Send and Print button, and in one click, you can define in what format you want to send them to your customers. So I want to send them over the platform. So in one click, they're sent. But of course, as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that your customer receives the invoices. So also here, some great improvements, because we have a new PEPL status, so that we get the feedback if the invoice arrived on the platform. So if you go in the dashboard, you can directly fetch the information in order to see the updates over there. So just click over here, and when I go back now to my invoices from October, I can directly see that there's already one arrived on the platform. All the others are pending for the moment, so that it's crystal clear for you if your customer received the invoices. Okay, next up, let's talk about bank statements. And when I think about bank transactions, first of all, I think about bank synchronization. Technically, it was already a game changer before, but for some of our customers, from time to time, it was complicated to understand what they needed to do at what moment. So also here, some great improvements. First of all, you can now define a mail directly on the bank journal in order for us to send you reminders when you need to reactivate the sync, so that you don't have to wait till it's done yet. It's great in companies where the bank owner doesn't have access to Odoo, or for accounting firms that want to invite their customers to do it directly by mail without diving into Odoo. But also in the interface itself, it's now way more clear. When the connection is broken, you can see it directly over here. Just click on it, and we will extend it for an additional period. So let's open some bank transactions. Last year, we completely removed the bank statements. This year, we brought them back somehow, in order to make it very visible in the widget, in order for you to have these control points. So let's create some statements. It's super easy. Just click over here. We create a statement over here, create an additional over there, and a third one over here. So in one click, you can create some bank statements. All the items are directly added to the statement. But you can open it from here, and you can also now print your statements internally. Just print it. We will generate an internally PDF, and we will add it to all your bank transactions so that they are directly available on the items itself, like over here. We printed the PDF, and it's available on all the statements everywhere in your accounting. So by automating that much and automating the synchronization, we wanted to make sure that it's very visible for you if some of the transactions are lost. So let's have a look if you make mistakes. If we go back to the list view and we remove, perhaps, of course, you don't do this on purpose, but it might happen that you delete them. When I delete the statements, it's now very clear in the widget there is a problem. We will point it out that the balance is not correct anymore. So don't worry, because as from now on, at any single moment, you can run and search for missing transactions. If you fetch them, we will find the ones that you deleted because they all have a unique ID. Just select them over here, import them again, and it's completely okay. Okay, so last one. Let's talk about closing and reporting. And first of all, when I think about closing, let's talk about reconciliation. We completely removed the old widget and replaced it by a very easy-to-use new screen. So it's grouped by account and by partner. and it gives some new flexibility. For example, you can now reconcile between two different accounts, and Odoo will make sure to automatically create the entry in order to balance it. So let me show you how it works. First of all, let's select DHL. It's a customer, so I want to reconcile the items that are open as a customer, but also as a supplier. Just select them over here and click on Reconcile. Directly, Odoo will calculate what's the difference, and he will ask you to create a write-off in order to automate that entry automatically. If you want to keep the highest amount open, you can also allow partials, and you can reconcile in one click between two different accounts. But we did something way more cooler. You might have seen it already on the screen, but we now have a brand new auto-reconcile feature. And let me show you how powerful it is. So let's open InBev, for example. I have some 2 unallocated payments over here and some invoices. Well, in one click, I can click over here, launch it, and we will automatically reconcile all corresponding amounts, and we will even point it out in a specific color. But that was too easy. Let's jump back to our items, because we can run the same on the account level as well. So just click over here, automatically everything is filled in, and in one click, I launched reconciliation over all my accounts, and all my different items are reconciled. This is gonna gain a lot of time for accountants at the closing date. So next up, reporting. It's great to have an amazing accounting system, but if it's complicated to read the output, well, that's a pity. So let's have a look at our reports. First of all, our balance sheet. Basically, all our financial reports have been completely refurbished in order to make it very clear which different sections you have and what are the different subtotals. So it's not only the balance sheet for sure. If I dive into P&L, for example, I have the same. They have all been refurbished. But we have some great additions here as well. First of all, you can see that we have a new filter over here. It's basically all your favorite filters that you can now apply directly on all your financial reports. Let me show you how it works. If you go into your journal item, well, you will see all of your different filters over here. And thanks to the advanced search, you can do some great stuff. Like, for example, I created one without intercompany transactions. So I could easily filter out all my transactions with a partner with a specific label. But because I saved them over here, they are now available on my profit and loss, so I can run them directly from here and obtain all kinds of financial statements without these filters, so without all my intercompany transactions. It's super cool to be used, and I believe that the possibilities are just endless. So let's continue, because I'm not done yet for the reports. We also have another great feature, and it's all about combining different financial reports together. So I create a new closing binder over here, and you can see that within this single report, I have my balance sheet, my profit and loss, a VAT return, and I even have some other reports that are available if I want to include them. And so what is great over here, that I can directly export in one click all of my financial reports together, which is going to gain a lot of time at the closing if you want to provide your different stakeholders with different reports, but also for accounting firms that need to provide that to all of their different customers. So next up, multi-company. We have a brand new feature over here. It's all about branch management. Branch management gives you all the flexibility of the multi-company environment, but linked to one single legal entity, so that everything that should be shared is shared. Like chart of account, taxes, etc. All of them are shared within the legal entity. But it gives you some great flexibility. Let's have a look at invoicing, for example. If I open my invoices and I group them by company, I can see within my Odoo Belgium company, I have some different branches over here, like the one in Antwerp, which has its own invoice layout. If I go back, I can open the one for the Form 1, for example, which is part of the same legal entity with another invoicing layout. So it's great for different entities within the same legal entity. But of course, that's only one of the advantages. Think about access right across all of your different applications, specifically for one single branch. Or reporting per branch, also here, very powerful, a lot of different possibilities. So last but not least, let's talk about analytic accounting. Last year, we completely redesigned the way we manage analytic accounting in Odoo, and it's super cool. Our users love it because they can define their own analytic dimensions with their own analytic accounts, and they have the flexibility to make it mandatory, optional, or unavailable. But there was one thing missing: create powerful reporting between all of our different dimensions. And that's exactly what we did. Let me show you how it works. If I go and I create a new invoice over here, let's fill in a customer and create a new line. For 1,000 euros, for example. And this time, let's open our analytic distribution for the first time. So you can directly see in the widget that it's completely different. It's not vertical anymore, it's horizontal, so that all different dimensions are linked together. So let's fill in the first one. Let's say that I have, it's for a SaaS platform with a standard plan for the region Europe. I can change the percentage over here, 50%, or I can directly change the amount as well. And the remaining is for, let's say, Odoo SH, for a custom plan, and it's for the region Americas. So I'm done for my split. I can confirm the invoice, and all the analytic items are created behind the scenes. Now, yeah, thanks, you can applaud. Now let me show you how powerful the reporting is behind. Let's open our new analytic reporting. It's right over here, and first of all, it's grouped by different months. Now, at the left side, you have all your different dimensions available. I want my report, first of all, per region. Then I want it per platform. Then I want it per product. And over here, I want to split it by department. And in one single click, I can create many, many powerful analytic reporting out of the box. Thank you very much.